Okay, let's start off this video with a fun little riddle. It is versatile. It connects you to the rest of the world. You probably have it in your pocket or your hand right now, and it gives you access to the largest repository of information in human history. We use them for all manner of things, from taking and posting pictures of ourselves on social media like some 21st century narcissists, to playing addictive repetitive games, some mentally engaging and others less so. So of course, watching the Art of Deduction YouTube videos. Wait, you guys watch other YouTube videos aside from mine? Oh. Sad day. Anyway, that little magic brick in your pocket, like I said, it gives you access to the largest repository of information ever known to man, colloquially known as the internet. I bring up the other uses of smartphones to show the absurdity that we don't take advantage of this aspect of them as much as we should. Now, obviously, not all the information on the internet is reliable, and one has to be careful when doing research on it. Yet, that little hiccup shouldn't prevent us from using the internet for our purposes. I've made a video in the past about what to do when you can't interpret a particular observation, and I still recommend you do what I recommended in that video. But in some cases, we can do the research needed to solve the problem right there on the spot. I find this particularly helpful when making deductions related to medical conditions. For example, I recently observed a middle-aged man with a swollen leg. Around the swollen area, the skin was dotted with sores and small scabs. In addition, he also had a sharp breathing pattern. I didn't know how to interpret all this. My knowledge in the medical field essentially extends as far as a high school anatomy and physiology class. I mean, I could do some more research in that field, and I am planning to. In the meantime, since I knew I didn't have the knowledge needed to sufficiently figure out what his condition was, I pulled out my phone and did a quick Google search on swollen leg. The search led me to some medical websites which narrowed down the possibilities. While this didn't allow me to determine exactly what his condition was in conjunction with the other data I observed, it gave me insight into his lifestyle choices that had led him to one of these potential conditions, and thus allowed me to build a few theories. Now, of course, I would never go as far as to diagnose him based on these observations in a Google search, but it did give me some insight into him personally, as well as added to my knowledge base for future subjects. This is just one example, but I will say that using the internet has been most helpful with medical-related deductions, because, for instance, looking up things like the implications of a certain pattern of tan line is probably going to land you with a search related to tanning beds and all that nonsense. However, there are other things that you can potentially look up for a deduction. Another benefit of using one's phone to look up information is that it is inconspicuous, as looking at one's phone is quite the typical behavior. So, in conclusion, if you're making an observation that you can't interpret because your knowledge base is insufficient, put that phone of yours to good use and see if a quick Google search will lead you to some pertinent information. Before we close out this video, you might have noticed that my character is different. Well, I gave him a bit of a renovation. As you can see, high resolution, a scarf, and look, I have legs now! And as you can see, my logo itself has a full redesign. So in light of this, I was thinking about producing a new merch line. The last time I produced merch was when I hit 1,000 subscribers, and the proceeds of that went to the Autism Research Institute. However, we only raised about $40, partly because not many people bought the shirt, but also because the website I was using took a huge cut. But here is the idea that I have now. I'm thinking of setting up a permanent merchandise line featuring a t-shirt with the new logo on it, and a mug. I haven't decided what will go on that mug yet. However, for these two items, the revenue generated will go to me as a way to help fund this YouTube channel, but I still want to use this channel to give to charity. So, every few months or so, we will launch a limited edition piece of merchandise with a new piece of artwork. All the money made from those limited edition items will go to charity. So I think in that way we can reach a healthy balance of allowing me the monetary ability to make better content and rely on YouTube more for my income, thus freeing up more of my time to make more videos, while also using this platform to do some good. But before I do any of that, I want to know if you all would actually buy merchandise. So up in the right corner there will be an info card. Click it to take the survey. Would you or would you not be interested in buying merchandise from me? So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here and you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe. If you learned something from the video today, be sure to give it a like. Once again, thank you to my supporter on Patreon. So with that, all you aspiring detectives out there, arrivederci.